Hey, everybody out there on YouTube, Facebook, internet, cloud world. Wanted to make a video here to describe how to get around the recent face mask laws in Washington, in the state of Washington. Each state has their own specific things. If I were you, I would make sure that your state actually does have an actual order issued by the Secretary of Health that requires you to wear a face mask when entering into businesses. Because some places, the media is just telling you the governor issued some order, but the governors cannot issue these orders. Only the Secretary of Health, which is this guy in the state of Washington, he's an actual licensed um, professional, a doctor, or some kind of form of a doctor, I guess, is what this guy would be. But anyways, he's the one that is credentialed to make these things, not Governor Inslee. So with that said, my wife a couple weeks back, she went into Costco and she wore a bandana to try to go along with this whole face covering thing. And she got so lightheaded, she felt like she was almost passed out. She's 8 months pregnant. So this became an issue, with her in particular. So whether you're somebody like her or somebody who has asthma, or you know what, you're just somebody that doesn't want to wear the mask because you don't feel the need of it because, for instance, the science behind it is very, very shaky. There is a lot of competing points of view on this one subject. So if this represents something where you don't want to actually wear it because you feel like it's actually going to make you unhealthy, which many people believe, you should have the right to do that. So, anyways, what I would do is I go in and I go into the actual store and I if they ask you when you walk in, I say I have a medical condition, and most people will just let you go in right off the bat because according to this is the actual order issued by the Secretary of Health, which is this guy here in the state of Washington. Um, let's see, right there, there we go. And you go down here, and if they give you problems, you can always just pull up this order. I have it set on my phones to where I can just show them real quick. So it says right here, it says persons with a medical condition, mental health condition, or disability. So it gives provision for people that are exempt from having to wear a face mask. Okay, so what exactly are persons with medical conditions or disabilities is the key word here for the state of Washington. Well, let's go look up at the law. And the reason why they put this in here is because it is illegal to discriminate uh, for people who have an actual disability. Well, what does the law say is an actual disability? So right here is the actual statute, and I'll leave all the links in this video in the description so you can pull this up on your phone and do the same thing. But if they wanted to get real crazy on me and be like, well, we don't want you here, even if you have a medical condition, be like, well, you're discriminating against me. Because right here in the actual law that was voted on by people here in the state of Washington, it says I have the right to enjoy any accommodations, advantages, facilities, or privileges of any place of public resort, accommodation, assemblage, or amusement. Okay, I am free to be discriminated upon. Okay, right here, I'm free from discrimination, especially this one. Let's go ahead and right there because of a physical disability. So we already saw in the Secretary of Health's order that if you have a physical disability, you're exempt. And right here, an actual statute in the state of Washington that's in law that was voted on by people says right here that they do not have a right to refuse you. Now, what is a physical disability? Right here, we're going to go into the definitions of what a physical disability is according to the law. So right here in paragraph 7, a disability means the presence of any sensory, mental, or physical impairment that is immediately cognizable or diagnosable or exists as a record or history or is perceived to exist, whether or not it exists in fact. So something that you need to understand here is that, for instance, like my wife, she is not diagnosed with a disability or medical condition, but she believes because she got so lightheaded she almost passed out at 8 months pregnant that this poses a risk factor for her to actually wear a face mask. So you don't have to go to the doctor and actually have some kind of documentation under the law to have a disability. You can just perceive to have one. So, so I wanted to point that out because this has become a really big issue, and there is a lot of people that are confused about what the law states with all this. So, further, I wanted to show a couple more things here. We already looked at that. This is the actual. Oh, here we go. So here's the overview of what businesses are supposed to be doing with people. And it says right here, it says businesses cannot inquire about the details about a person's specific medical condition. Okay, right there, or a disability, and cannot ask for proof or documentation. And the reason why they cannot is because it is illegal. You do not have to disclose your medical condition or disability. Only your doctor, a licensed professional, is allowed to do that. So I just want you to see that there. Now, if they, there's all sorts of provision. If you go back and you read through all these things, where if they still continue to refuse to allow you to shop at their particular establishment, they're to offer curbside assistance right here. So right here it says for customers who are unable to wear a face covering, businesses are encouraged to offer some kind of accommodation, such as curbside pickup, delivery, or a scheduled appointment. So, so even if they choose not to let you in because you say you have a medical condition, they're not allowed to ask you what that condition is, and they are to supply some accommodation for you. Now, if they don't do any of these things, this is according to the law. This is discrimination, and they could get sued. So I just wanted to point this out to everybody out there, um, and that ultimately, I know that this is how far you want to push it out of place. This is a very, difficult situation for a lot of people. It can be very like almost like a conflict zone now just to go grocery shopping. But there are ways around this. So personally, I just go into the store. I just told them I have a medical condition, and they leave me alone. At Costco the other day, I was asked about 5 different times, what my medical condition was, but ultimately they left me alone because this is legal, for me to be able to go to a store and shop without having a face mask on. Anyways, I just wanted to show this to you. How far you want to push this is really up to you because ultimately, if they still refuse you after you show them all these orders and all this stuff that I showed you in this, you could call the sheriff's department on them, or you can sue that particular business. And I would suggest that you pull out your phone, talk with the manager, and have the manager explain that he read all this stuff, all these different laws, and the governor's order, and all the details of those orders, and he still refuses to let you shop at that particular business. So you're pretty much loctite, I would say, at that point of winning some kind of lawsuit or whatever. But like I said, to each his own on this one. How far you want to take it is really up to you. For me, for my wife, she does not want to go shopping with a face mask on. It's a very difficult thing for her right now. So, and many people are in the same exact position. So, I hope this helped you out. I'll leave all the links to all these different websites and all these different documents in the description. God bless you all. I'll talk to you later.